What is going on, everyone? The Philadelphia Phillies sweep the Boston Red Sox in a 2-game series in Fenway. How about that? Before we dive into this game, promo code, use it, $20 off of your purchase. It is essentially a free ticket. 5-2? The Phillies win 5-2? I got 2 players of the game and 1 honorable mention. Number 1 player of the game is the bullpen as a whole. Drew Smyly was horrendous today. He sucked. His stat line actually makes it look not as bad as it actually was. So Drew Smyly was horrendous. You gotta praise the bullpen as a whole. Hughes, Suarez, Morin, Alvarez, Hector Neris, fantastic baseball. They only allowed 3 total hits. They only walked 1. Also, by the way, with that being said, as much as this kills me to say, you gotta give a little bit of praise to Gabe Kapler because he made the right decisions. He went out there and pulled guys in the right moments and had his matchups, and they all worked out today. Whether you liked it or not, whether you thought it was too many moves or not, they worked out. So you have to give Gabe Kapler praise. If we are going to crucify the man for all the poor decisions, you got to give him one of these for when it works out, and that's just reality. So the bullpen, number 1 star of the game. But number 2, Bryce Harper, putting the team on his back from an offensive standpoint. He hits an opposite field 2-run bomb over the Green Monster. Hey, how you doing? How about that? Fantastic. And he is being the leader that we need. We need someone to step up, and he's been doing that as of late. He's been crushing the baseball. He's been murdering the baseball, and it's fantastic to see him do it on such a nightly basis, if you will. The honorable mention goes to Rhys Hoskins. His slump has been brutal. But he walked twice today and came around to score in those moments. He also had a double. Those walks, very effective. I'm a guy who thinks that we overvalue walks at times. But I do need to say that when he got on base due to the walk, we scored. That's big. That's really big. So let's dive into this game as a whole here. So like I said, Drew Smyly, bad. 3 2/3. His stat line read 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 earned runs, 84 pitches. It doesn't look that bad when you read his stat line, but it really was that bad. He couldn't find anything. He was embarrassing, and it's unbelievable to think about what he was for his first couple starts here. This is reality. And it blows my mind that this is the guy that our upper management decided to go out and get when we needed a pitcher. It was inevitable that he was going to fall apart and be what his averages are, and this is it. He's a bad pitcher, and it's not going to work. It's not going to fly to have someone like Drew Smyly and Zach Eflin in our starting rotation if we're going to try and make a legit push at this thing. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we can't continue to throw this out. We can't continue to rely on our bullpen to have this type of night every time Drew Smyly's pitching and throw Zach Eflin on top of that. It's not going to work. He left the bases loaded in the 4th inning there. He did get 2 outs, and then who ended up coming in? It was Hughes running from the bullpen like a goon who got out of the inning there for the Phillies. The score was 2-0, and it felt as if the Red Sox should have had more runs at that point, to be honest with you. They started out the game getting a ton of hits and finding ways to get on base. They should have had more than 2 runs, but they didn't. It realistically should have been 3-0, but JT Realmuto with a cannon behind home plate there to gun someone out at second base. I forget who was running off the top of my mind, but during that time, that's when they scored their runs. It realistically could have been 3-0, so they lost a run being aggressive on the base paths. I don't know why anyone runs on JT Realmuto. I mean, what are you thinking? Have you seen film? Do you watch film? Do you study around the league? Why are you running on JT Realmuto when he can throw anybody out? 5th inning, everything changed. Cesar Hernandez, a little aggressive on the base paths. It costed the Red Sox an error because he was trying to jump third base on a ball that was right there by home plate when the catcher blocked it. He forced it out to the outfield. He scores on an error, essentially, and we make it a 2-1 game. That's when Bryce Harper does his thing, hits the home run. We're up 3-2. In the 7th, Rhys Hoskins walks. He gets the second on a pass ball with 0 outs. Please, fellas, knock him in. Please. Just like the snap of your fingers, there's 2 outs and Rhys is still on second base. Well, that bothers me. But Dickerson triples. Corey Dickerson triples, knocks him in. We get a little bit of insurance. But that's not the only time Corey Dickerson did that, because you fast forward a little bit to the 9th inning, and Rhys Hoskins walks again. Because of a balk, he gets the second, and Corey Dickerson comes up clutch to knock him in for a 5-2 comfortable lead. 8th inning got a little scary for the Phillies. Alvarez in the ball game. It was 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs, and with a beautiful changeup, he strikes him out, and we get out of that inning. It was a chance for them to score a run. But because Alvarez, for the 2nd out of that inning, on a little dinker little whatever you want to call it, back to the pitcher, he goes to 2nd to get the force out. Now, that's another spot. If we didn't make that play, they would have scored another run there. At that point, it would have been 4-3, and it would have been a closer ball game for this bullpen in that 9th inning. There was a lot in this game that could have went right for the Red Sox, but watching that Red Sox team, they just stink. They're just bad. They have no energy. They have no passion when they're playing. What happened? I mean, it's essentially the same team as last year. You can argue it's just a World Series hangover, but there's no passion. It honestly looked like we were watching the Phillies of that tough stretch throughout the last couple months, no? It felt like that to me. They were sloppy. They didn't play good baseball. They couldn't execute. When you take a look at Mookie Betts, JD Martinez, Devers, Xander Bogaerts, we somewhat realistically kept them quiet throughout the 2 games there. So it wasn't like their top dogs were performing. You got to tip the cap to the Phillies. Porcello was bad today. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, walked 4. He was bad. He struggled. Speaking of struggling, Adam Hazley starting to get a little overwhelmed at the plate. He's been hitless for a couple games now, and he's been on a tough little stretch. Young guy, gonna have to gain experience in this league. We all know that, but he has been a little quiet as of late, and he has been struggling big time to find any sort of success at the plate. He walks and whatnot. He gets a walk here and there, but when it comes to having an explosive bat, it's been a little quieter as of late. So, listen, we win 2 games in Boston. I would have never thought, especially with the pitching matchup today, I would have never thought. I don't trust Drew Smyly anymore. He stinks. All right, he stinks. That's what it is. I don't trust him anymore. But we found a way to grind this out, and the bullpen was A+. They were a big reason why we won this baseball game, and everyone stepped up. Once again, credit to Gabe Kapler. You don't do it often, but tonight, he deserves it. We go to Miami. Now, we have an off day, but we go to Miami. We know the trend. Is the trend not suck the fan base back in, sweep the Boston Red Sox, lose 2 of 3 to a poor baseball team that we should demolish? Yeah, shake your heads with me. Yes, that has been the trend. So with that being said, make sure it doesn't happen. Make sure it doesn't happen. I will be disgusted. I will be pissed off. One thing I just thought of, and it's so Gabe Kapler, when he was making the decision tonight before the game on who was going to play in the lineup, Brad Miller or Logan Morrison, he was watching every plate appearance of these 2 players against Porcello and dissected who was better and who was going to be the guy, because Brad Miller has great stats against Porcello, but so does Logan Morrison, and Gabe Kapler was getting all this praise for how determined he was to watch all this film to see who's better. Stop. Come on. That's too much Gabe praise. All right, I gave him enough praise, but the whole, he loves the game so much, he's so dedicated to the game, he's watching so much film to figure out strategically who's the best, he's just so passionate about the game. Yeah, so is everybody else. So is everybody else. And I see a video of him doing like push-ups in the outfield before the game. I can't get enough. Listen, a game where I praise him, I have to of course end the video with giving him a little heat because he's just a character, all right. He's something else. But his moves worked. What are you gonna do? Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, listen, the Philly faithful, by the way. The Philly faithful, we were hearing that on TV. It was nice. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm used to hearing Mets fans. I'm used to hearing Boston Red Sox fans, Yankees fans in Citizens Bank Park when they come to town, and it's embarrassing from a Phillies fan perspective. Well, I will say this, it was nice. It was nice to actually hear the Phillies fans. Now, the Boston Red Sox fans are disgusted with the season they've had so far, so it's been a quieter season for them, of course. But to hear all of the fans and to see the Phillies fans in the stands going crazy and starting Eagles chants. You serious? That's fantastic. It's great to be on the other side. And listen, it's been a frustrating season for us too, but we're still making the travel and we're still making the trip up to Boston. That's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.